hash on the streets of Holland. They're shutting it down in Denmark. There's definitely no other place like this in Canada. We are the freest people in the world! And we live in the greatest country in the world, but it's not easy being this free. And if you're not from around here and you're wondering how we're getting away with selling all this fine hashish, and marijuana brownies, and cannabis, well, I'll tell you the secret. The secret is Vancouverites are not afraid of hugging each other. No, we like to hug. We're very affectionate. We do public displays of affection all the time. We're good with that. And we especially give people hugs when they need it, when they're feeling bad, like, say, when they're getting arrested for a victimless crime. So how it worked here for all these years to get to this stage, to get to the point where we can sell pot without fear anymore, is if we saw somebody getting arrested for a marijuana-related offense on a pot protest day, we would give that person a hug and not let go. Now, we wouldn't touch the police, wouldn't say an impolite word to the police. They got a shitty job, what can you say? But they weren't going to drag us out one by one of this protest crowd. No, sir. We're going to hug those police. We're not hug the police. We're going to hug the protesters who are breaking the law and make it very, very difficult for the police to arrest them. And we found out that the police have Rodney Kingophobia. They don't like being caught using force on film without justification. Now, if they were arresting a rapist or a murderer, they'd have no problem beating those people up in front of a camera, because those are dangerous people. But nobody gets hurt from a pot offense. I'm sorry, I've looked, and I can't find a big list of marijuana victims anywhere. There are people who don't smoke pot properly, but they're victims of their own ignorance. They're not victims of marijuana. There are no marijuana victims. There are only prohibition victims and ignorance victims. So, we defend each other, and that's how you do it. If you don't live in Vancouver, you want to see a marijuana farmer's market where you live, you got to learn about hug power and nonviolent arrest resistance. Now, my friend Jacob here has done an excellent job of organizing all the logistics associated with this event. So let's give him a warm round of applause. Give it up for Jacob! Jacob Hunter of Why Prohibition. But he's been told by the police that, and not just the police, the city too, he will explain it in a second, but I just want to highlight this point, that what they want us to do is not block off House Street. They need it open today. So, do your best to keep the crowd on the premises, and we'll keep getting it year after year. Jacob will explain that further. There will be a joint toss at 4:20. I've never seen as many joints rolled as we have today. So it's going to be epic. It's going to be historic. We're going to send a protest cloud up into the sky that will be visible from space. That's right. And if you want, you can come get the tips for users and the rules for dealers from me. I've got a tent right behind the cookie and weed tent there. The next one over there is mine. It's the Herb Museum tent. You can learn more about your cannabis history from us. You can even get a free dealer's flag if you're a pot dealer, so people will know that you're a legitimate dealer who supports education and harm reduction for users. See, because what we got to teach each other now is how to use this stuff properly so nobody gets hurt with it. Last year, we had 8 times the ambulance had to come for people overdosing on brownies or smoking too much weed, not smoking on a full stomach. So if this is your first time smoking pot, don't smoke here. You might have an allergic reaction. And if you're eating brownies, eat like 1 for every couple of hours and take it easy. It's not a contest. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. Just, the only thing we have to prove is that we can have an event like this with thousands and thousands of people and the ambulance don't need to come. This isn't a Stanley Cup riot. This is a marijuana protest, There will be no damage to vehicles. There will be no violence to people. We're just going to be loud and proud and high. And this is how we're going to do it. I'd just like to say 2 more words and then I'll give it over to Jacob. The first word is, if we're going to survive as a species with all the Fukushima radiation in the air, we're going to need something that shrinks tumors. We're going to need something that gives your immunity a boost with essential fatty acids. And we're going to need something that pulls radiation out of the soil and cleans the soil. There's only one plant on planet Earth that can do all that, and that's cannabis. And that's what we're here protesting for. So the world is relying on us to save the human beings from the evil corporate overlords who continue to poison this planet. The other thing is, no matter what the Harper government may do to our community, no matter what kind of shenanigans that our government in the federal government of Canada tries to pull, we are continuing to win battles in court every time we go up to bat for medical marijuana. We will continue to defend and expand marijuana rights, medical marijuana rights, until everybody in Canada has a doctor's note, because it's all medicine. When a sick person passes a joint to a healthy person, it doesn't suddenly become non-medicine in midair. It's medical marijuana for everybody in Canada. And I'll leave you with this one last thought. In California, in 2012, there'll be a vote on whether to legalize marijuana and regulate it like the wine industry, which would mean the number of legal places to buy pot in Los Angeles would jump from 41 to over 11,000. Yeah, and the taxes would be minimal. It'd be like $7 on an ounce or $112 on a pound. And anybody could become a grower, and you could grow 25 plants. They could be 10-pound plants. That's 250 pounds per adult. No taxes, no regulation, no nothing. If you want to grow more than that, pay a little bit of taxes. And that would be the deal people be voting on in California. It's a good deal. It's an inclusive deal. Anybody could become a grower. Anybody could become a dealer. And that's the vision I have for legalization. Legalize it for everybody. Yeah. All right, so stay high, stay proud, stay loud. There'll be a joint toss at 420. There'll be garbage cleanup crew will also get smoked up. A joint for everybody who helps out with the garbage. And that starts at 5 o'clock. You can get the garbage bags at 5, and you can get the dealer's flags from me over at the Herb Museum tent. And check out the new history display at the BCMP, the Vapor Lounge. And give it up for Jacob Hunter!
Hey everybody, happy Cannabis Day! So just a little housekeeping here. We all like to laugh about it with the brownies.